90.1 FM with the elders and Sky Sun in the house. Go ahead, guys. It's all yours.
Okay, let's start again. What is the best part about being a missionary, Elder Campbell? I think some of the best parts of being a missionary are honestly just seeing people's life change for the better. Just having them see just their lives improve.
Yeah, I would have to say, it's okay if I share a quick story?
Yeah.
All right. Well, like Elder Campbell, I think the best thing about a mission is being able to see people making the choice to come closer to their Heavenly Father and to improve their lives. And when I think back to what my favorite mission experience has been so far, I was just thinking, in one of my previous areas that I served in, there was this one younger girl that we were teaching. She was around 10 or 11 years old. Had been coming to church for a bit and had a lot of family that were members, but she herself wasn't a member. She had not yet been baptized or anything. But we started going over there, and me and my companion at the time, and we started teaching her. And I think that just seeing her slowly coming closer to Heavenly Father, slowly gaining a better understanding of the church, of the teachings, that was a huge blessing for me. I know that, it was for her, but it was a huge blessing for me and a huge building of my testimony. And then when the time came when she'd been taught everything and she wanted to be baptized, she actually asked me to perform the baptism, and I thought that was a huge blessing. I loved the chance to do that, and it actually happened on Christmas Eve. So it was hard because it was my first Christmas away from home, so I knew it was going to be kind of a rough time, but when I got the opportunity to see that happen, see someone make the choice to make those covenants with Heavenly Father through baptism, and I got to be the one to perform it, I mean, that you couldn't have given me a better Christmas. I mean, that was just a huge experience.
Fantastic. What is the hardest part about being a missionary? Elder Smith?
Let's see. I mean, it's a big culture shock when you become a missionary. Even growing up in the church, we're asked to give up a lot of worldly things just for this 2 years. We don't watch TV. We don't play video games. We try and avoid listening to too much loud music, stuff like that. It's not stuff that our church is necessarily against, but just as missionaries, we need to keep our minds focused. We need to be, eyes single to the glory of God. And so that can be a little hard sometimes, being away from that and trying to avoid that. But I know that it is a blessing. I know that there's nothing that they would ask us to do that isn't for our own good. I mean, I've seen enough good things in this church. I've seen enough blessings come out of this church to have faith that whatever they're going to ask me to do is what I need to do.
I see. Elder Campbell. Oh yeah, I think one of the hardest things that I've ever had to deal with on my mission was just teaching someone the gospel, and just having them go through some of the lessons and thinking they're making such progress that they're on a road that's going to be ultimately better for them, and then they just don't do it anymore. They just step back. They tell us ultimately that they don't believe in whatever we're teaching. That's ultimately some of the hardest, some of the saddest time as a missionary, but it's always about right frame of mindset, knowing that Heavenly Father loves them, loves you, and maybe He has a better plan for them.
Yeah, and I think it goes kind of going along with what Elder Campbell said. When you're teaching these people and you're teaching them the gospel and you're doing your best to try and help them, it really increases the capacity for happiness and sadness, because you really get to know these people, you build strong relationships with them, and you really get personal with them. Because I mean, talking about Heavenly Father, talking about eternal salvation and all that, that's a big thing. That's you really get to have a close relationship with these people. So when they make the choice, to keep going forward and keep striving to be closer to Heavenly Father and keep making these, choices that we are hoping that they will make, it just really makes us so incredibly happy. But, the inverse is also possible. You get really close with these people, and then when they don't want to meet with us anymore, or they don't think that what we're preaching is true, it's just kind of gets you sometimes, but ultimately, we are not here to force anyone into anything. We're not here to really inflict our will on them or push some secret agenda. We're just here to try and inform people of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're here to bring them closer to Heavenly Father, and whether or not they choose to do that, that's all them.
I see.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Again, Session debut today is interviewing our elders in the house, as well as the gentleman we had before. What's his name?
People
From the food house? From the food house?
Nahino. Elder Nahino.
Yeah, he was here over here because the reason why is he takes care of what they call the food house. It's like a big, I guess you might say something like Sky Sans, but huger. More like a Sam's Club or a Costco smaller. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we're here in the house with two new elders. We're always bringing two other elders to learn more. It's about me, my education about Mormonism, which is awesome. I just found out that there is a training center over there back in Utah from one of the gentlemen that I just learned that there is a training center back home. Can you elaborate more or tell me more about that training center?
Yeah, so all over the world there are a couple, I believe there's 21, I think, total. There's missionary training centers, or MTCs. And what happens is, kind of the process of us getting our mission calls, we submit our papers into church headquarters, and then one of the general authorities of the church, like one of the apostles or something like that, will assign us a mission call, and then depending on where we're going on our mission, Elder Campbell and I both got called to the Hawaii mission, we will be assigned to an MTC first. So sometimes you're assigned to preach in a certain language, and if you're having to learn a new language, you'll be in the MTC for a long time. That's where they kind of teach you the basics. So for Elder Campbell and I, we were both just assigned English speaking. So we went to Provo, Utah, went to the MTC. We spent 3 weeks there learning the lessons we'd have to teach, the lifestyle of a missionary, stuff like that. If you're having to learn something like Spanish or French or German, then you're usually there for 6 weeks. Or if you're having to learn a really hard language like Mandarin or Russian or something like that. Yeah.
So they teach you a third language over there?
Yeah, so if you...
Wow, really?
Yeah, if you're assigned to preach in that language, yeah.
I mean, the English language, again, tells you, no, I don't want, no, thank you, go away. Huh? It's again, it's very, very much challenging towards you. Again, the reason why, for me, DJ Ken Campbell, I was growing up as, I thought a Mormon, because my family was very strong. Auntie Dodo and Auntie Rhoda and all of them back home. Back in the mainland, I'm the only one that stayed here in Hawaii with my uncle over here. But they're very strong in Mormonism itself. And again, they left me when I was 4 years old. So I'm figuring that, what am I? I found out afterwards that, no, I'm not a Mormon because, one, I haven't been baptized. I had to find out from my own church that I went to when I was small. And I found out from them because I want to know if I am a Mormon or not. They told me, no. You haven't been baptized, that's why. So I'm like, you're never too old to be baptized. And
maybe you're wet.
After that, right? After the one day, when Sky Sun make me wet. Yeah? Right?
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, anyway, we thank you very much for listening to KTH.